It's a convention, said Anthony Carling cheerfully, and not a very convincing one. Time, indeed. There's no such thing as time, really. It has no actual existence. Time is nothing more than an infinitesimal point in eternity, just as space is an infinitesimal point in infinity. At the most, time is a sort of tunnel through which we are accustomed to believe that we are traveling. There's a roar in our ears and a darkness in our eyes which makes it seem real to us. But before we came into the tunnel, we existed forever in an infinite sunlight, and after we have got through it, we shall exist in an infinite sunlight again. So why should we bother ourselves about the confusion and noise and darkness which only encompass us for a moment? For a firm-rooted believer in such immeasurable ideas as these, which he punctuated with brisk application of the poker to the brave sparkle and glow of the fire, Anthony has a very pleasant appreciation of the measurable and the finite, and nobody with whom I have acquaintance has so keen a zest for life and its enjoyments as he. He had given us this evening an admirable dinner, had passed round a port beyond praise, and had illuminated the jolly hours with the light of his infectious optimism. Now the small company had melted away, and I was left with him over the fire in his study. Outside, the tattoo of wind-driven sleet was audible on the window panes, overscoring now and again the flap of the flames on the open hearth, and the thought of the chilly blasts and the snow-covered pavement in Brompton Square, across which, to skidding taxicabs, the last of his other guests had scurried, made my position, resident here till tomorrow morning, the more delicately delightful. Above all, there was this stimulating and suggestive companion who, whether he talked of the great abstractions which were so intensely real and practical to him, or of the very remarkable experiences which he had encountered among these conventions of time and space, was equally fascinating to the listener. "I adore life," he said. "I find it the most entrancing plaything. It's a delightful game, and as you know very well, the only conceivable way to play a game is to treat it extremely seriously. If you say to yourself, 'It's only a game,' you cease to take the slightest interest in it. You have to know that it's only a game and behave as if it was the one object of existence. I should like it to go on for many years yet. But all the time, one has to be living on the true plane as well, which is eternity and infinity. If you come to think of it, the one thing which the human mind cannot grasp is the finite, not the infinite, the temporary, not the eternal." "That sounds rather paradoxical," said I. "Only because you've made a habit of thinking about things that seem bounded and limited. Look it in the face for a minute. Try to imagine finite time and space, and you find you can't. Go back 1,000,000 years and multiply that million of years.